A black ICE agent. Think about that. Black people have every reason to be angry in this country. We've been brutalized, ignored, lied to. But for you to, as a black person, wake up and look in the mirror and decide, I want to work for ICE today, I think is a whole new level of betrayal.
A lot of people think that African Americans are asleep at the wheel when it comes to ICE. And it's like, no, it's just that we've always been fighting against this. So it's like, it's not brand spanking new news for us. It's like the police have been killing us since like the end of Reconstruction, you know, like the police have been targeting us, attacking us through Jim Crow, civil rights movement, into the current movement that we're in right now. It's always just been a constant thing. And I think it's like white people are just starting to realize that this stuff like kind of affects them, like the overreaching of the government and the overreaching of the police and things of that nature. It's starting to affect them. So
why are black people saying this is not our fight making you upset? I've seen video after video from Latino creators or Latino people coming online pleading to black people to put our bodies at the forefront of this fight against illegal ICE raids, against deportation, against roundups, against undocumented people being rounded up and families being disjointed.
Are there so many black and brown ICE agents in the airport? Because there are just that many black and brown ICE agents? Or does the Trump administration just want us to see black and brown ICE agents in the airports?
Some conversations are uncomfortable, but they still need to happen because sometimes the most viral moments are the ones that make people stop and say, wait, what am I really looking at? Right now, videos are going viral showing ICE agents at airports, and what's catching people's attention isn't just the uniform, it's who is wearing them. Before I even say much about it, I need you to watch those clips that people reacted on because what you are about to say it got people talking for a reason. Watch it, then come back. Let's have a real breakdown on those clips.
This is what we mean when we say all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Because y'all, ICE agents don't have their mask on in the airports today. And the amount of black and brown ICE agents I've seen, Lord. Exhibit B. Exhibit C right here. Like, I know things are rough, but out of all of the government jobs that y'all could get, as people of color, y'all couldn't pick something else. I don't know. It's not doing it for me.
Hey, melanated people of America, I'm gonna need you guys to pull up a seat really quick because I need to talk to y'all. I'm trying to understand why this young lady has been posted all day and shamed by the melanated people of America. Why y'all so mad? Why is it that people can't live their life, make their own decisions for themselves before y'all jump in the comments and take their black card? Y'all love shaming people over this topic, and I'm just trying to understand, what noodle do you have in this pasta? Because I thought we were fighting for sovereignty and classification on this land. But yet you guys shame people for having conservative views, having, I guess, law enforcement jobs. What else y'all gonna take? What else y'all gonna shame for? I bet you ain't gonna take away the Don Julio, the Popeyes, and all the other low vibrational things that y'all can't keep your hands off of. Can't nobody take that from you. It ain't none of their business, right? How about you allow people to have their conservative views over their lives or make their own decisions based off of what they truly believe? Let's normalize that. This young lady is someone's family, someone's daughter, and we have the nerve to be the most hypocritical people when we're supposed to be protecting our queens. But instead we shame them and post them all over social media and think that it's funny. Like I said and always say, all skin folk and kinfolk. And I don't need to be a part of y'all if what y'all doing is low vibrational. This is 2026, so I do want to say shout out to all of the melanated people who are protecting their energy, staying away from these type of battles and fights. You do not need to follow what other people that look like you are doing.
a lot of people think that African Americans are asleep at the wheel when it comes to ICE. And it's like, no, it's just that we've always been fighting against this. So it's like, it's not brand spanking new news for us. It's like the police have been killing us since like the end of Reconstruction, you know, like the police have been targeting us, attacking us through Jim Crow, civil rights movement, into the current movement that we're in right now, it's always just been a constant thing. And I think it's like white people are just starting to realize that this stuff like kind of affects them, like the overreaching of the government and the overreaching of the police and things of that nature. It's starting to affect them. So now they're all just like, oh my God. But it's just like, okay, it's Tuesday. Like for a black person, I'm like, yeah, the police and the government are always overreaching. The police and the government are always doing things that are wrong for the people. So it's not brand news to us, you know?
TikTok family, what's good? So listen, I was scrolling like many of us do, and I came across something that disgusted me to no end. And it was seeing black ICE agents participate in the BS that's going on. Now, have your sentiments about Latinos not showing up at the polls like everyone needed them to. I get it. We as black people have a lot to be upset about in this country, but for you to get up one day and march your black ass down to the ICE office and sign up is disgusting. It's no secret the systemic and systematic oppression that we as black people have endured and continue to endure here in this country. I don't care who gaslights that and tries to say it doesn't happen. That shit happens. I've experienced it in the 21st century, being denied an opportunity because of the color of my skin.
Why are black people saying this is not our fight making you upset? I've seen video after video from Latino creators or Latino people coming online pleading to black people to put our bodies at the forefront of this fight against illegal ICE raids, against deportation, against roundups, against undocumented people being rounded up and families being disjointed. But there's several reasons as to why you should not be shocked that black people are sitting this one out. You guys all remember that this is a subset of your community last year. You're also aware that across the board, overwhelmingly black people voted in favor of the candidate that had black interests, Latino interests, Asian interests at heart. Where if you look at the sentiments of what that vote represents, half of your community voted for this. Half of your community said F you to black people. Half of your community said, we don't care about you. Half of your community said you wanted to be white aligning and white adjacent. And now you're being reminded of the fact that you're not. We have to have the ability to hold multiple truths when we speak to each other as communities. The truth is that Latinos are not a monolith. It's just an all-encompassing umbrella that they put you under. And that, yes, the majority of the people that voted for Donald Trump and were doing that were Cuban and were other people in different parts of the country, and undocumented people in Mexico in California are being impacted by that. That is true. But what's also true is that there is a history of black people fighting and being at the forefront of civil rights in this country since the inception of civil rights in this country. And it's always been pushback and non-solidarity from multiple communities who are voting and always going against black people. So this particular time when black women especially really came out in droves and really fought forward with our votes, and you guys didn't do it, your community didn't do it. It's like, why would I fight now? Why would I fight now? So I just need you, like, if you're going to come online and make pleas and ploys to black people, because I've seen so many videos, start by acknowledging the fact that your community has colorism, anti-blackness, and voted against your own best self-interest. Start with that. Don't come in here and ask black people just to put our bodies at the forefront of the line, because we've been doing that for a century. Secondly, I think the majority of black people who are saying that they're sitting this one out are using their voice in other ways or having solidarity with you in other ways, but they're not going to protest. They're not going to go get hit by rubber bullets. They're not going to put themselves in harm's way or make that effort again, because you guys, it's time for you to fight for yourself. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense for you. Now, there's also a bunch of black people online who are asking black people to come out and fight for everyone, and everyone needs to fight, and this is our fight as well. While I do agree with a lot of those sentiments, because if they're doing it to brown citizens, they can do it to black citizens, and they can use the Congo and Haiti as an excuse to just racially profile all of us. That's very true. But you have to stop telling black people to put themselves on the line when black people are exhausted.
A black ICE agent. Think about that. Black people have every reason to be angry in this country. We've been brutalized, ignored, lied to. But for you to, as a black person, wake up and look in the mirror and decide, I want to work for ICE today, I think is a whole new level of betrayal. Now, let's be honest. You know the systemic and targeted oppression we faced in this country is not a myth. It's not a theory. It's reality. Mine, yours, all of ours as black people. In my almost 40 years of living, I've been denied opportunities just because I'm black in this century. And I know you've experienced it too, because that's America. So let's drop the fake justifications. ICE isn't hunting drug lords. They're not targeting gang members. They're showing up every day where laborers gather. They're raiding farms and factories and tearing families apart. People who are just trying to survive. And these are jobs that no one else wants, especially not us. We picked cotton for 400 years for free, and we're not signing up to do it again. The people ICE target, people we all grew up around. They go to work, go home, play music on the weekend, and mind their own damn business. They're not hurting anybody. So no, this isn't about crime. It's about control. And you, a black ICE agent, you know that. So to voluntarily become part of the very same system that has always crushed us, that's not just sad. I think it's sick. You think you'll be the exception? You think wearing the badge, covering your face and crap protects you from the system? Ask yourself, when has aligning with oppressors ever saved us? When has betraying your own community ever led to freedom? Never. You're not protected. You're not respected. You're being used. You're a pawn, a disgrace, a sellout in uniform. And when they're done using you, you'll just be another black man to them. I said what I said.
Are there so many black and brown ICE agents in the airport? Because there are just that many black and brown ICE agents. Or does the Trump administration just want us to see black and brown ICE agents in the airports? This is where I am. Is it conery or is it propaganda? Or is it both? I don't know. Statistically, I feel like our melanated ICE agents are probably low. So my question is, why is the visual with melanated folks so high on the news? I feel like every time I turn on the news, I see a melanated ICE agent. This just leads me to say, why? Why are you showing me so many melanated ICE agents if I know that the probability is that the amount of melanated ICE agents are lower? I feel like it's because they want us to have a conversation on the actual race and the betrayal of black and brown people being ICE agents, and maybe not necessarily as much emphasis of them being in the airport in general. That is my theory. I wonder what other folks are thinking about this. I have just seen a lot of takes that focus specifically on these ICE agents being betrayers. Okay, true. But what is the higher level strategy here with the visuals being pumped up?
Bruh, am I the only one who thinks that if you are a black ICE agent, that Tourette's guy should be allowed to call you a nigga? White people do not respond to this.
I'm not gonna hold you. I think it is 100% on purpose that the ICE agents that you are seeing in the airports right now are, the ones that ain't got their mask on. Yeah, they are black. They are black women. They are people of color. I think that's intentional. And I'm not saying there ain't no white ones out there, but I'm thinking like all the videos and the pictures and the imagery that we are seeing are of those demographics. And I think that's on purpose. One, ain't nobody ever said like all skin folk was kinfolk, right? We already know that. But think about this. When it was time to start doxing people, reporting people, talking about like people getting, brought up on charges for being a part of this militia group that the president is running or whatever, they kept those people hidden. It was the white faces who did not get brought to the front and center. They didn't want us to know who they are. And I bet you 100% when it's time for those charges to be brought, these are the people you're going to see front and center. Why? Because it's so much easier to throw this stuff on our back than it is theirs. Keep up, man.
You have black leftists on this app that are absolutely shocked and flabbergasted that there's a lot of ICE agents that are people of color, for lack of a better term. Yeah. Like in a lot of these airports, Donald Trump recently deployed ICE agents to help get these lines to not get the airports to not be as crowded, especially most like your busiest airports, like the Miami's, the Atlanta airport, Chicago airport, the JFK airport. I believe that's in New York State. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, there are clips going around of black leftists being so shocked that there are so many black men and women that are ICE agents, Latino men that are ICE agents. There's some Asian men probably that are ICE agents, and every other group you can think of. And these black leftists specifically think it's so wrong for these people to have these jobs. Talking about black people. They think it's so wrong for them to be ICE agents. They're like, oh, your ancestors, they're just rolling in their grave right now. I guess they'd rather these people be unemployed for how fucking stupid they sound when they say that shit. Because like those ICE agents who just so happen to be people of color, they have a job and they're getting paid. They're doing something essential. While you leftists fucktards are just up here just yapping about literally nothing, looking for the next thing to be pissed off about that doesn't really affect your life at all. I really start to think that these individuals are absolutely the most miserable people on earth right now. I really do believe that. And these are the same black leftists that would actually agree with a white leftist calling a black ICE agent a house nigger. Like dead ass. They think that's a good idea. And that bitch Torre got up there and went viral and said it's okay for them to do that. Dude, And I'm glad the internet came, like the right side of the internet came for your ass. Dead ass. This is one of the main reasons why I could never identify as a Democrat, liberal, leftist ever again in my life. I just cannot do it. They're too far gone. They're too far left. They've just gone too far with their ideologies. And that's what's turning a lot of people away, and they don't realize it. I'm glad they don't realize it. Because before they know, they'll have nobody. And they'll be like, just like these women who bitch on this app, where did all the men go? They'll be like, where did all the people go? You drove them away, stupid. Let me know what y'all think about all this.
So you got black liberals in an uproar, angry at the fact that there are black ICE agents out there. You know, black Americans doing a patriotic job, keeping America safe, deporting the worst of the worst. They see a problem with that. So let me reiterate what is holding the black community back. These three things. Your race hustlers. They see the world through white supremacy, victim mentality. Yo, Negro wranglers. These are the people that see you a free thinker thinking for yourself. No, they want you to be pro-black, aka pro-democrat. That's what pro-black means. The Democrat ideology, you know, transitioning children, men and women sports, that ideology, that's what they want for you. And your ho-hounders, these are your Simpsons, right? These are the people that's constantly simping for women, these black queens, you know, those three people, those three archetypes is what's holding the black community back. All right, everything else is a distraction. Everything that like, oh, I'm looking out for it. No, they just want to hold you and your mind captive to the Democrat plantation.
I'm sorry, this is just an example of why people are slow. I saw a conversation happening about ICE agents at airports, but let's just talk about Atlanta because I live in Atlanta. Somebody presented a juxtaposition, if you will, saying that they find it funny or ironic that ICE agents all over the country have been masking themselves and not identify themselves as ICE agents when they're going to pick up, detain, or arrest people. And the border czar, Tom Homan, has said that they do that because their lives have been threatened just for doing their job. So it's a protection thing. If people would stop, attacking ICE agents, interfering with investigations and detainments and arrests, they wouldn't have any reason to wear the mask. And I'm not defending it. I'm just explaining the circumstances. Now, with ICE agents coming to certain airports due to the fact that there's a TSA shortage, because they are in the same department. TSA and ICE are both under the Department of Homeland Security. It has been said clearly that ICE agents are only there to help with services that they are trained for. They're not there to arrest illegal and undocumented immigrants. They are there to assist in a TSA capacity, whatever that means that they can do. They're not going to be scanning people in, doing all that, because they're not trained to do that. So people said, why are they not wearing masks? And the fact that, Atlanta is a lot of black folks. So a lot of the ICE agents are black people. So people are presenting it as, because Atlanta has so many black folks and the ICE agents are black and they're not wearing masks, that they're putting these black folks in danger because the other ICE agents that we've seen across the country who wear masks are white. So they're protecting them. And since the black folks in Atlanta at the airport who are helping out aren't wearing masks, they're not protecting the black ICE agents. While the black ICE agents are not there to do the same things that the perceived white agents are doing around the country or in the field. This is one of the most stupidest arguments I've ever heard in my life. It's just stupid. And again, people are slow and people will do anything to push their agenda. Like, that's why I refuse to be someone who's it's just agenda. My agenda is doing right by people and telling the truth. That's it. The truth is ugly, you tell it. The situation is ugly, you tell it. I'm not just about to make up something because I have an agenda to push.
So my people, or who are perceived to be my people, how much are they paying y'all? How much are they giving y'all for this little jobby job? Because I know I don't see my people out there being ICE agents. So how much is the gig? It must be something. Because I know we not out there looking proud. All skin folk ain't kinfolk, and this is a true definition. I'm bothered a little bit. I'm a little shocked. Cause they taking pictures of y'all, right? And posting them everywhere so everybody know. They out there telling all y'all business. Yeah. I mean, y'all could have made a little GoFundMe if y'all was broke or something. I think we would have supported y'all or something. Make the TikTok go viral. But an ICE agent? Unless y'all are doing, some undercover work, let me know. But right now, it doesn't look that way. So they gotta be paying y'all good, because I know damn well my people ain't out there.
ICE is wiping people's identities away just for their last name. I saw a video of a guy who got pulled over the other day, white presenting man, got pulled over by the police. They asked for his ID. They told him they couldn't find anything in the system, asked him for his ID, asked him if he had several different IDs from other states, which he did. He gave them those, asked him for his social security number, couldn't find anything about this man in their system. Called the sergeant. The sergeant comes, checks him out, is like, cool, you're good. The guy's like, no, wait, why can't you find me in your system? The sergeant goes, you can thank ICE for this. They've wiped all of your information from the system. They flagged you because of your last name, because he has a Hispanic looking last name. Not only are they flagging people, they're wiping people's identity away on record so that when they go to pick people up, they have no way of verifying whether or not they're actually a U.S. citizen. Understand the severity of that. They are wiping people's identities away who may be valid U.S. citizens, who are U.S. citizens, who live in America. They're wiping their identities away in order to justify picking them up and deporting them to a country that they've never been to. We are at war.
Unpopular opinion, but I don't have any problem with the black ICE agents. Now listen to what I'm going to say. I remember taking my kids to school. I had my nephew and my son in the car. And, I was like, y'all should look into becoming polices. And they laughed so hard. They was like, we not going to be snitches. Back in the days, that was the word. They was not going to be a snitch. And I said it to them then, and I'm going to say it now. We have to be in it to fix it. We have a habit of saying we're not going to be polices, politician, judge, lawyer. We're not going to do those things because whatever, right? But here's my thing. You get in it and you carry yourself accordingly. You don't have to become an ICE agent, disrespect people, unalive people. You could be the one that makes the difference. I don't understand how we just think the only way to make money, especially if you only have a high school diploma, is to play basketball and football. Why we only want our kids to become football players and basketball players, and I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is you get in it and you treat people with respect. I remember being pulled by and they treated me with respect. And then I get pulled by police of my brother and get treated with disrespect. It's not the job per se, it's the person. If you a good person, you get in there and you treat people with respect. Go get this job, especially when you got bills to pay. High school diploma, $50 bonus, $50,000 bonus to start. Nah, go get the job.
All right, you have seen it. Now let's talk. So here is what is happening during a major travel disruption and government shutdown. Immigration and customer enforcement agents were deployed to airports to assist with security and crowd control. And across social media, people noticed something: a visible numbers of black and brown agents in those spaces. And what and that's where the conversation started. Let's be real, this isn't just about airport. This is about optic representation and perception. Because some people are asking, why are certain faces being seen more in this situation? Reports even suggest that the presence of black agents has sparked debates about whether they are being positioned as the face of controversial policies. That's where emotion starts rising. Now let's take this deeper. For many Americans, this conversation is differently because it brings up real questions like, what does representation actually mean? Does visibility equal power, or can people be placed in position without real control? And historically, these are a, these are not new questions. There have always been moments where people from the communities are seen in system but doesn't necessarily control those systems. So when people react strongly, it's not just about the video, it's about history, perception, and life experience. Now, here is the part we have to be honest about. Not every situation is simple because behind every uniform, there is a person with a job, responsibility, personal reason. And at the same time, public perception doesn't always separate the individual from the system. That's tension. That's what you are seeing online. And this is why it's trending because people are reacting in real time. Some are saying this doesn't look real. Others are saying people are just doing their job, and that's the fight. That's what makes it go viral. But let's go deeper. This situation is forcing a bigger conversation. How do we feel power? How do we define loyalty? And how do we separate individual from system? Because those are not easy questions. Think about it like this. Have you ever been part of something where people judged you based on what you were associated with? That's a real feeling, and that's why reactions are so strong. And at the end of the day, this isn't just about airports, it's about understanding how people are identified, roles and responsibility, and why certain images spark bigger conversation than others. Now I want to hear from you. What was your first reaction when you saw those clips? Do you think people are overreacting or asking valid questions? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's have a real conversation about it. And if you want more real unfiltered breakdown like this, hit that subscribe button because we are going deeper into viral clips like this every time. Thank you for watching. I will see you all in my next video.